For years, the truth stayed hidden, the victims forgotten, the cases left cold, until science revealed what time could not. This is Decades in the Dark, where cold cases are brought back to light. Phoenix, Arizona, November 8th, 1992. Angela Brosso was just days away from her 22nd birthday when she set out on her bike for a ride along the Arizona Canal near Metro Center Mall. It was early evening, cool, quiet, and the sun had already set. Angela was athletic and independent, with shoulder-length dark hair and a kind, easy smile. She loved biking at night. It helped her clear her head, but this time, she never came home. She was attacked from behind, struck with a bladed weapon. Her throat was slashed, and after death, her body was violated. Angela was sexually assaulted post-mortem, then decapitated. Her head was taken from the scene. The next morning, a man walking along the canal made a grisly discovery. Angela's nude torso was found in a grassy area beside the bike path, posed with care. Her arms and legs were arranged deliberately. It was meant to be seen. 11 days later, city workers performing maintenance near the canal found something floating in the water. It was Angela's head. The killer had washed it, carefully cleaned it before disposal. 10 months passed. No suspect, no answers. September 21st, 1993. 17-year-old Melanie Bernas went for an afternoon bike ride, just 2 miles from where Angela had been found. Melanie was a high school senior, bright, grounded, driven. She never came home. Her body was found floating in the canal. She was fully clothed, but not unharmed. She had defensive wounds on her hands. She had fought back. The autopsy revealed she had been drowned, held underwater by force. She was sexually assaulted after death, but this killer wasn't sloppy. Melanie had been redressed after the assault. It wasn't a crime of passion. It was a ritual, controlled, cold, no decapitation, but the same eerie calm, the same chilling silence. Phoenix was terrified. 2 victims, same canal, same brutality, and no suspect. DNA was collected from both scenes, but there was no match in the 1990s. The evidence sat, silent, for more than 2 decades, until 2015. He called himself the Zombie Hunter. Bryan Patrick Miller was a familiar face at Phoenix Comic Cons. Tall, pale, buzzed hair, a blank, boyish smile. He wore tactical gear and drove a decommissioned police cruiser marked Zombie Hunter. Most thought he was eccentric, harmless, just a guy playing dress-up. But behind the costume was a violent past and a monstrous secret. In 1989, at just 16 years old, Miller stabbed a woman in a Washington Mall parking lot. She survived. He was arrested and served juvenile time, but his record disappeared when he became an adult. In 2002, he stabbed a sex worker in Everett, Washington. She fought him off and escaped. Charges were filed, but dropped when the victim wouldn't testify. He had a pattern, violent, impulsive, escalating, and somehow still flying under the radar. Miller moved to Arizona. He got married. His wife would later describe him as emotionally vacant, controlling, and obsessed with death. He kept weapons, real and replica, all over the house. He talked about necrophilia, about the perfect murder. She feared him. Eventually, she left. But the most chilling detail? She left their daughter in his custody. Court documents and testimony suggest she may have feared what would happen if she tried to take the girl. She may have struggled with her own mental health, but either way, he raised the child alone. To neighbors, he was odd but protective, a quiet single dad. They had no idea who he really was. That year, Phoenix police submitted DNA from the canal murder cases to a forensic genealogy lab. A family tree took shape, distant relatives, closer branches, and finally, a name. Bryan Patrick Miller. Surveillance teams tracked him. When he left a restaurant, they collected the cup he used. The DNA matched. Exactly. January 13th, 2015. Police arrested Miller while he was driving his daughter to school. She watched from the passenger seat as officers pulled her father from the car. The man who posed as a protector had been a predator all along. Miller was charged with the murders of Angela Brosso and Melanie Bernas. He pleaded not guilty. He claimed psychological illness, memory loss, disassociation. The trial dragged on for years, but science never blinked. In 2023, Bryan Patrick Miller was convicted and sentenced to death. He now sits on death row at Arizona State Prison Complex, Iman, in Florence. He spends 23 hours a day alone in a concrete cell. Arizona uses lethal injection. But as of now, no execution date has been set. His sentence is under automatic appeal, like all death penalty cases. Justice has spoken, but it may be years before it's carried out. He posed Angela Brosso's body like a grim calling card. He washed her severed head before discarding it like trash. He drowned Melanie Bernas, violated her, and redressed her with care. He stabbed 2 other women before that, both survived. And he showed his wife a side of himself the world ignored, until it was too late. Because sometimes the most dangerous monsters don't hide in the dark. They walk beside us, they hold a child's hand, and they wear a mask, so convincing we never even look beneath it. This is Decades in the Dark, where science brings the past to light. Subscribe for more stories where justice never expires.